Just something about blood. She just shoots very like tastefully and erotic.
Let's go.
What is up? Drive-by Movies here, and you're watching
Fresh Releases.
My name is James.
My name's Blaise.
And today we're checking out the film that is grossing out audiences across the country, The Substance.
You have to control yourself! Old, fat, disgusting!
The Substance stars Demi Moore and is about a fading celebrity that decides to use a black market drug, a cell-replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger and better version of herself. So James, this is a film I literally only found out about last week, I feel like, and it just seemed to kind of come in a wave really quickly. I feel like very similar to Strange Darling, where I found out about it like Friday, and then I'm like on Tuesday, like, oh, I'm gonna go see it. It just seemed like it happened so fast, and the praise was unanimously very positive, like overwhelmingly positive. Some might even say suspiciously positive, to where I'm like, something must be wrong here. But anyways, James, what do you think of the film?
Yeah, so I forgot how I found out about this movie, but it happened like back in like April or March. My guess is that's like around South by Southwest time. Not sure if it premiered there or something, but it played at some point. Someone I follow on Letterboxd like just gave it 5 stars and was like, y'all are not ready for this movie. I was like, oh dang. So what's it called? Here we are just out of nowhere, like 2 weeks ago today, just trailer drops. Everyone's giving it 5 stars. Like everyone's saying, you're not ready. This is the craziest movie you'll see. And I hate when I go into a movie like overhyped and gonna come out disappointed. It's happened a couple times this year. Not with this movie. This movie lived up to the hype. It's got some faults in it. Runtime main thing for it, but 2 hours still goes by very quickly. It's a little over 2 hours, but it still goes by very fast because of how fun and just visually stunning this movie is. It's such a fun time, and like honestly, you think you might have seen like crazy gore, and this movie still, even for someone who's seen like who survived Terrifier 2. That movie's for wimps, honestly, though. But, if you've seen like movies like Cannibal Holocaust or, a Serbian film, even this film will still make you go like, oh, God.
But have you seen Dennis Quaid eat shrimp?
Oh, that honestly will like make anyone's stomach turn. Like, I've seen that in a theater screen with the loud sound effects. Demi Moore's face said it all within that sequence, honestly.
That's like one of the opening scenes of the film, so not to spoil anything, but yeah, this film definitely was one of those movies where I had to honestly look down at a time because I was so like kind of just nauseous. Like my stomach was kind of turning a little. I might have been a little hungry too, but then like, oh, I can't eat right now. This, what we're witnessing, is just too much. Also, there was some crazy sequences that were kind of like handheld camera of like very shaky footage amongst some very nauseating scenes, which definitely made me be like, okay, I have to look down. If I keep staring at the screen, I think I'm gonna hurl. And I've only really felt that in like, if I can remember, specifically, would be like some of the motion sickness that I received from watching Cloverfield in theaters. A giant screen, blown up footage, and the camera's moving around crazy because TJ Miller can't keep his hands still. So
I forgot about that.
But yeah, I'd have to say like this was one that I felt like the hype might have killed it for me, because I think my whole Letterboxd, when you click the movie, you see all the people you follow and like their ratings. I think it was pretty unanimously 5 stars, and I was like, there's no way, there's no way this could be a 5-star movie. And I mean, I don't ever rate anything 5 stars really, like very, very rarely. Maybe like there's probably 10 films in my entire Letterboxd catalog that might have 5 stars, and that's probably only because I couldn't see myself give it anything less. But yeah, this is definitely easily a 4-star movie. I thought this movie was really impressive. Like you said, a little bit long, but this movie was just the kinetic energy that Coralie Fargeat uses the camera and really like uses these crazy wide angle lenses and the sets, like that crazy hallway that we see is very obviously reminiscent of The Shining. There's fun little homages that are, you know, fairly on the nose here, but they never like detract from the actual film itself. But yeah, I thought that this film was, you know, just a thrill ride, absolutely crazy, and some awesome sequences that I think will transcend this film and that as it stands the test of time.
Right, absolutely, yeah. And, you know, like, I'd love to talk about, like, the final 20 minutes of the movie, but, you know, I'm just here to say, like, go see it. We're not really going to spoil anything, but, you know, a lot of people have hyped up body horror over the last couple years. Like, it's back and everything. With David Cronenberg coming back, you know, Brandon Cronenberg also doing a lot of stuff. And then, hell, even his daughter's also doing stuff, too, recently, with that movie we watched recently, Humane. That movie was less body horror, but, you know, it's a term that's been coming up a lot these days. And this is the first movie that like really has like done it for me, where like it's the only movie that's gotten me to like wince since like probably David Cronenberg's The Fly. I mean, there's probably been a few movies here and there since then, whether it was like a zombie movie with like, you know, innards coming out, but it's not so much that though, really. It's like a lot of just like the intense close-ups of like, you know, drug addiction that we see within this movie. Like, I'll always remember, you know, some people remember certain aspects of Requiem for a Dream that haunt them. It's always Jared Leto sticking the needle in his like his disease like infected arm. That's like one of the grossest, yeah, one of the grossest things I've seen. And just, you know, seeing that like kind of reused in this movie but for different purposes is horrifying. There's a lot of weird, interesting fluids going on within this movie. And I like that this movie, you know, it very obviously is set in modern time, but like also just has an old world feel to it too. It's got like a 90s aspect to it. Maybe it might be like just a color grading within this movie. Or, you know, casting Demi Moore, you know, even though she's like a late 80s, early 90s like icon, but just you know, I don't really know much about Demi Moore. I just know that she's famous, like, you know, being a part of the Brat Pack crew and stuff. And, you know, I've only really seen her, I think, in Ghost, and that's it, and known that she was married to Ashton Kutcher at one point. But she's just absolutely fantastic within this movie. And my only complaint is like kind of towards like an hour and a half into the movie, I just felt like it was focusing a little too much on Margaret's character Sue a little too much, versus I prefer Demi Moore's take on, you know, this Miss Sparkle that she played. But, you know, both have their moments to shine and both are absolutely fantastic. But just I miss seeing Demi Moore, like, just because I don't know much about her, and just like she really stands out with, you know, her hatred towards Sue, and then, you know, just like her trying to make it. And this movie's just a great big middle finger to like Hollywood and just like, you know, executives. Like, some of it might be, you know, a little bit on the nose with the character Harvey by Dennis Quaid and everything, but, you know, and then also his producing backers, like, just like all dressed and look exactly the same. It's hilarious at the same time too, but, you know, really just fantastic.
Yeah, definitely a hilarious satire at times, even if it's just the strange imagery. I feel like that's something that Coralie Fargeat just does so well, is like just really strange imagery. We see it in Revenge. There's such great cinematography that's utilized in that film, and especially with the editing and putting shots together. It's something that I feel like definitely moves really well, even when the film's not doing these horrific, you know, sequences. When it's even just doing, you know, like normal sequences, the film is just moving in such a quick like way that it just captures your attention. You can't do anything but just stare at it and just be sucked into the world that is The Substance.
Absolutely, yeah, those like fisheye shots, and you know, just something about blood. She just shoots very like tastefully and erotic. Like, you know, I know that sounds disgusting, me saying blood is erotic, but just she within the final sequence of Revenge, like, I just remember the boyfriend in that movie is covered head to toe in a bucket of blood, and like, you know, I remember it's set in a desert, so everything's got a yellow look to it, and the red just is very vibrant and stands out. And there's a sequence with blood on the carpet towards the end of this movie that like really stood out and kind of reminded me of Revenge. And just like, you know, she really stands out, not just with cinematography, but also just the use of colors within the movie. And, you know, can't wait to, like, you know, this, I highly recommend seeing this in theaters, but, you know, can't wait to watch this on a 4K TV, like, or an 8K TV, just to see how vibrant it can be also from at home. But I highly recommend seeing it with the audience if you can, because I only saw it with about a dozen people, saw it at an 11 a.m. screening. Made me not want to eat popcorn for the rest of the movie. But honestly, though, just that dozen of people, though, were just cracking up and wincing the whole movie with me as well. So it's a fun time. It's a riot.
This was a movie too where before I got to the theater, I was even like excited, like I'm gonna go get a big popcorn and a drink. And then walking up to the theater, I'm like, wait, I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish it. So I just decided to go in, with just some water. And yeah, I'm glad that I didn't get any food in this one because I don't think I would have been able to finish it at all. But the bucket might have been useful if I did get sick, actually.
Honestly, wise decision. Yeah. Luckily, I was fine though. I got a popcorn. I arrived early, and there was I saw it at Alamo Drafthouse, and surprisingly, there was like 20 minutes of trailers. That's very rare. Normally, they're more on the 10 to 15 minute side. But even while watching the trailers, I was like, "What the hell? Why are there so many trailers at Alamo Drafthouse now? I don't need another AMC theater." But luckily, I finished my popcorn like 15 minutes into the movie, so it wasn't too bad. But I started to feel it though.
Did the waiter come and grab that bowl? Because honestly, those bowls they give out at Alamo Drafthouse would be perfect to fill with puke if you needed to.
So no, they have unlimited popcorn if you just get plain popcorn there. All I got was just the one that I was by myself watching it, so that's all I needed, one full thing. I could probably eat two if I really wanted to, but no, that was enough. And luckily the waiters didn't bother me the whole movie. It's just drop off my check, and luckily they dropped off the check before the poo-poo hits the fan.
Yeah, when's the check drop? I need to know that anytime you see something at Alamo Drafthouse, I need to know specifically when the check drop happens.
I want to say it happened right after the 3 months later sequence. So, okay. A lot happens, but it was like a moment of quietness for a little bit. Or it might have been right before but there was a lot going on. I can't remember. I just know it was somewhere around that 3 month sequence though, but without spoiling too much. But yeah, go check it out so you can talk about the ending with us in the comments below, because that's a great way to help support the show. You can also check it out on MUBI, apparently. I don't have MUBI, but MUBI sponsor us. I know Karsten on YouTube is always sponsoring MUBI. Let us sponsor or get sponsored by you.
Definitely. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and smash a like button on this video and hit the subscribe button and click that notification bell to get all of our latest updates.
And speaking of updates, be sure to catch all our social media links down below. We got Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, as well as our own Letterboxd account. So that'll conclude this week's episode. Tune in next week for a brand new video.